This morning, our New Testament and our gospel readings hit on three major themes in Christianity: faith, fear, and be prepared. These are themes that we often hear in our scripture readings, and therefore, by extension, we often hear about them in sermons. So this morning, I will give you my take on these three themes. Our epistle reading from Hebrews, we hear faith defined. Faith is the assurance of things hoped for, the conviction of things not seen. Faith is not easy to define. We cannot assess it with our senses. We can't see it, we can't hear it, we can't smell it, we can't taste it, we can't touch it with our fingers. It just is. And we only know it's there because of that feeling that we have inside ourselves. Now, I would venture to say the majority of the people in this room have some sort of faith in God. That's sort of why we're here this morning. We're all here because we've heard God's call to us. You are mine, little lamb, come follow me. And we responded to that call. It wasn't audible, something we could hear. It's something that we could feel inside, that we could feel down to the marrow of our bones. Some folks here today have a lifelong faith. Some have a much newer faith that they are coming to build upon. And some may be here because they're just not sure about this whole faith thing, and they're hoping that this Sunday service will help them to figure it out. Most of us are here because we want that booster shot that we get from Sunday morning service that keeps us going for the rest of the week. But regardless of how we got here or why we got here, we all are here and we have this worship experience in common. Fear is another thing that we all have in common. Everyone has fears and everyone has worries. We may worry for ourselves, for our loved ones, for people we don't even know, but we know are in some kind of danger or suffering. The gospel from Luke tells us, "Do not be afraid, little flock, for it is your Father's good pleasure to give you the kingdom." Oh, it's easy to say, do not fear, but that is very difficult to accomplish. And I'm no theological expert, so I can't tell you why there are bad things in this world that cause us to be afraid or cause us to worry. I just know that they're there. And while faith in God does not eliminate our fear or our worries, it does help us to face them. Faith kind of stands between us and our fear. It kind of makes that fear back down a little bit. It removes some of the power that fear has over us. Faith gives us hope in the face of fear. And that brings me to being prepared. Our gospel puts it this way: be dressed for action and have your lamps lit. Most often, this passage is interpreted as meaning preparing for Christ's return or being prepared to meet God's judgment in heaven, being prepared for some future event at some future time in some unknown place. But this morning, I'm going to suggest we look at this a little bit differently. What if being prepared does not mean looking for Christ's appearance in the future, but looking for Jesus in the world now and here? Christ may not be walking among us in a physical sense, but he is definitely working among us. So what if being prepared means being open to see Christ at work now and here? And not just being open to it and seeing it, but actively seeking him at work, sometimes where you least expect it. And then being prepared to join in that work. Are we prepared to live today as Christ lived during his lifetime? Are we prepared to help others overcome their difficulties and face their fears? Are we ready and willing to be the personification of faith, to stand between that person and that person's troubles in order to bring them a little bit of hope? So being prepared is the strong shoulder that a friend or a neighbor needs to lean on. Being prepared is bringing a dozen eggs or some paper goods for the food pantry clients. Being prepared can be as simple as giving a smile to that frazzled mom in the grocery store who's trying to juggle a family food budget and a fussy child at the same time. Are our lamps lit to enable us to see Christ at work? And are we dressed to help with that action? Are we dressed to assist him here and now at a moment's notice? Because our everyday small actions can be life-changing. I will leave you with a quote from a psychologist named Sam Goldstein. It is perfectly acceptable to be someone who doesn't change the world, but instead makes their corner of it more compassionate. Are we dressed and ready to be compassionate? When we leave worship service this morning, when Deacon Dorothy dismisses us at the end of the service, let's remember those words of that psychologist and let us go forth to act with compassion in the name of Christ.